So, Leslie India is basically a study abroad agency, but not like any other study abroad agency. It's a huge platform for you to learn, a better platform for you to understand your needs better. And Leslie India can help you figure out everything which you need to know about your future plans or how you can create the best profile for yourself. And to know that better, we have a webinar which Leslie India Education is conducting today. And I think, ma'am, we can go ahead with the webinar.
Sure. Thank you so much, Varuni.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome from Leslie India. I know it is the end of the day, and maybe you all are tired, but be assured we will not bore you, and it will be an engaging and an interesting webinar. Of course, you'll have the time to post your questions at the end of the session, but feel free to post any questions which come to your mind during the webinar itself in the chat box. So recently, everyone was so geared up and ready with a perfect plan to book the Coldplay concert. Isn't that right? And I'm sure many of you may have been successful. Those were the lucky ones, but few may have been disappointed. So those who logged in on multiple devices, managed, planned early, and got the price tickets to the concert. And now they are just hitting the sky. Similarly, if you plan early and correctly, you can have a future ready profile too. And we at Leslie are here with all the information which you would need to make your profile future ready. So let's understand what exactly is a profile. Is it just your resume or your life story or your maybe just putting down your interest, your hobbies, or your skills? And why do we need this right profile? Is it for your dream graduate school or a dream job? Or maybe for a marriage proposal as well? So, do you believe that? Let's hear from you. Please use the chat box. Is it a dream job which you're looking for? Or do you want to apply to a dream graduate school, maybe something on the lines of Harvard or LBS? Let's have some of those answers in those chat box. So yes, graduate school. I've got someone writing that. That's wonderful. And we did hear Veer saying that he is also interested in looking for study abroad. So may I request, sir, to explain to you exactly what are we building the right profile for and what exactly a profile is. So over to you.
So the word profile, of course, sounds very ponderous, but essentially it is your life story. Okay. So what have you studied? What work have you done? What internship you did? What are your interests? What skills have you acquired? And what really are you all about? Okay. So in a way, it is all that by and large can be captured in a resume. And which is something that we need to take efforts to build up, with consistent efforts over a period of time. Okay? So that's what we would say is a profile. And once you go to the next slide, the previous slide, can you go back? Yeah. So this is actually a very famous story about an athlete called Roger Bannister. So he broke the world record, and more importantly, a very important milestone, because everybody believed that nobody could run 1 mile within 1 minute. And this continued to remain a kind of a barrier in the world athletics in many Olympics over 4 or 5 decades. Nobody could ever cross that. And then this athlete called Robert Bannister in 1954 Olympics, first time, crossed this barrier. The reason why I'm sharing this is soon after Roger Bannister broke this barrier, many athletes started breaking this barrier of 1 minute in, for 1 mile in 1 minute. So this is demonstrating a mindset that once we get it into our head that this is not possible, it becomes very difficult to kind of achieve that. Okay? And similarly, when you look at your own possible career or academic goal right now, we all have our own perception of what is possible and what is not possible. And I mean, my advice is that do not decide it possible or impossible based on so many limitations that you have possibly perceived for yourself. Rather, I would say, keep up your dream and see how is it that you will be able to achieve that. Okay. And that is the point here, that you dream and we help you to build a profile that's going to help you fulfill the dream that you have created for yourself. And what exactly is this profile that we're going to build for you is the next slide, which is about 5 things. That first thing, the dream college is going to look for your academic records, which is essentially your grades, and also the ranking of your institution where you're studying right now. Second, they're going to look at your GMAT or GRE score. Third is going to look at work or internship experience. And here again, worked with which company, what reputation, okay? What kind of a profile you worked in. Fourth, what are your skills? So if you're working in looking to specialize in finance, so what exactly you did in finance, okay? Did you work for an investment banking firm? Did you work for a corporate finance team? That's a functional skills. Your soft skills, how do you communicate? How do you interact with people? Do you have a good written communication skills? All that, okay? And finally, your attitude. Now, it may be a little difficult to understand attitude, but most of these graduate schools, when they give you kind of admissions, they do have an interview round. And that round, most of the time we find that they're trying to quiz you on things that in certain sense reveal your attitude towards work, towards life, towards other people. And similarly, there are essays which they're going to be quizzing you about what you think of community, what you think of people who don't look like you, people who don't speak like you. So these are attitudes that people are trying to check before giving you an admission to. And this obviously so more stringent, depending on how reputed that business school or university that you're talking about. Okay? So the 5 key things that you have to kind of build for yourself. And if you go to a job, once again, we can look at 5 key things that your future employer will be looking for. Your internship or work ex, and again, your skills, that analytical skills, your functional skills in finance or marketing or as a psychologist, how did you demonstrate that? What kind of leadership you have been able to demonstrate, okay? Be it in college, student activities, you can relate certain activities, or even in a work situation, how did you lead your team? are elements of leadership that we want to demonstrate. Previous achievements. So, of course, you can describe what I have done, okay? Which is the usual thing, right? In a CV, we'll all write, I did this, we have done that. But what really needs to be understood is what has been the real achievement behind what you have done, okay? So many people do a lot of things, but can you kind of highlight them as something, as an achievement, which is, more than just the usual thing. So everybody goes to office, everybody does certain job allocated to him. How has he kind of overachieved that? How has he contributed something beyond what is normally expected of you to do? Okay? So that's the unique thing they are all looking for. Then again, your functional and soft skills, and again, your attitude. Okay?
Thank you so much, sir. Now that we know the what and why of the right profile, let's delve into how to build the right profile. So first, I'm going to enumerate the building blocks of the right profile, and then I shall explain them to you one by one. So when we look at how to build the right profile, we are looking at academics, projects, internships, skills and competencies, and extracurriculars. Now, taking them one by one, we have academics first. And you may be thinking, I'm already doing my bachelor's, my degree, study, what else to study? So yes, academics are definitely very important. You can use a targeted skill, take up few projects, pursue online courses. Yes, Coursera and Udemy do work. It's a tech world. Have that edge. Learn those computer languages, maybe Python, Java, C++. And let's not forget that for higher studies, prepare for these standardized tests. So you're looking at GRE and GMAT or GMAT, and you can take these tests many times, if possible, twice, to get the desired score. And account for enough preparation, because it takes somewhere between 3 to 6 months for preparation for this particular test. Also remember, these scores are valid for 5 years. So even if you take them now and you are applying 2 years later or maybe a year later, those scores are valid.